Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 2 versus 2 on Colombelles, and in this one it's gonna be myself and Betts taking on T and Philip. We're both going to be using the 15th Infantry Scots Division versus the 12th SS-Panzer, and this was a pretty interesting game. So it took us a little while to actually put down some troops at the start, so I'm just going to start to speed things up. But either way, I'll talk you through our strategy whilst I put it to my perspective. So in this game, I wanted to switch things up a little. I wanted to try out a 2v2 on a 1v1 map for starters, and I also wanted to try out a different strategy. So I was talking to Betts about strategy for quite a while on this map. And basically what we ended up deciding to do was having one player attack the factory in the middle, whilst the other player takes care of the left and right sides of the map. So it ended up being Betts taking in the centre and myself taking the flanks, and that's what we decided to do. As you can see, we're already 2 minutes into the game. The deployment did take quite a while in this one. And you can see I'm already starting to bring in my forces. So what happened though was, because we'd taken so long to actually talking about it and less about actually putting down the forces, Betts hadn't had half of his on the ground. So as you can see, he's rushing to bring those in. Meanwhile on the right I have my AVRE on the map already, alongside an AT gun and an infantry squad, some rifles there. And over on the left I've got a rifle squad with the command carrier and the command infantry, alongside an AT gun, and I've got another AT gun to the far left as well. I've got a command infantry coming up and an HMG to cover off the right side. I think I also had quite a lot of points that I hadn't spent at the start as well. Unfortunately this Bedford does go down. That also kills off the rifle squad, which was quite unfortunate. And as you can see, the mortar's already on point, taking out my 6-pounder. So yeah, I wasn't in the best position at this point, and my 6-pounder's already low on morale. I have got the AVRE here to save the day though. I have literally no infantry presence though, so just kind of hoping that my command carrier and HMG get here quick enough to stop anything pushing through this tree line. AT gun does open up onto my AVRE, and my AVRE also discovers multiple half-tracks. Now these are actually 259s, as I find out as I destroy one. Unfortunately my AT gun, as it peeks to the other side, does get absolutely annihilated by those armoured cars. You see, this armoured car is actually engaging my command carrier, but Betts' wonderfully placed 6-pounder does take that out for me, which was fantastic. And now I'm trying to get the second shot from the AVRE to take out this 259 before it's forced to fall back. Unfortunately, it is forced to fall back. However, my AVRE is going to retreat nicely behind this tree line. Meanwhile on the left side, well, my AT gun's being engaged by multiple half-tracks and also the 223 here. I'm in a bit of a pickle. My AT gun's gone down there. I do have this AT gun in the centre, but that's not really in line of sight. I lose my command carrier as well unnecessarily. And now I just have the rifle leader and the rifles left to cover the left side. Also got this Bedford truck that was going to be unloaded into these barracks buildings. But basically the idea here at the moment is just to wait until my AVRE is back on its feet, and then I can push through the tree line with the infantry and the command carrier. Meanwhile in the factory, you can see that Betts is going to start to make a lot of ground. Both of the enemy players committed a lot to the flanks. You can see there is like the AT gun, you've got the mortar carrier, you've got the 3 259s that were on this right side. And then over on the left side you've got multiple half-tracks with multiple infantry squads, plus the command unit, and they're just tearing me apart on each flank. Meanwhile in the centre, Betts is just fighting against a few units of Panzer Grenadiers and making quite a lot of progress. Betts is going to bring in a Typhoon. That's going to be targeting this Pack 38. Pack 38 goes down to 1 health. Doesn't quite get destroyed, but I have my AVRE and command carrier moving up. Got some more reinforcements coming up for the left side. Decide to bring in 2 Honey Stewarts for the left. That was my plan, to get rid of all of those pesky half-tracks and the 223. And then I've got some infantry to cover up afterwards. So Betts moves forwards his Bren group, manages to finish off the AT gun there. The Honey Stewart is having a great time trying to get rid of the 251-17, is the AA carrier. Now over here, my 6-pounder does take a lot of machine gun fire from the enemy half track, so I'm just trying to retreat that between the buildings so that I don't lose it. Unfortunately, what happens is this infantry squad arrives and spoils the day. Either way, got my Honey Stewarts into position now, so the idea is just to finish off the 223s and the enemy half tracks. Got to be wary that there is a Cromwell on the field that is going to be shooting at my rifles squad. I'm not too concerned about this one though, as I do have a couple of extra moving up, and the Honey Stewarts can kill enemy infantry that move across in the open quite efficiently. Obviously there is an AT gun moving forwards back here. I definitely spotted that, so I had to try and play around that as I continue through the match. However, in the centre, well, Betts has full control on this town, or the factory area, so that's great. Definitely done a good job here. His 6-pounder takes out 259 as well, and my AVRE is making a lot of ground on the right as well. So definitely making concerted effort on this right side. On the left, we're losing ground slightly. But I do have the Honey Stewarts trying to sneak forwards out of line of sight of this half track, or of the AT gun, so that we can kill the half tracks. Currently running a +1 with the 54% territory lead, so that was great as well. I brought up some reinforcing rifles to assist the AVRE. As long as the AVRE isn't under fire, I'm pretty safe to have these Bedford just move up with the rifle squad in it. Managed to take out one of the 259s with the Honey Stewart. And you can see, well, this one's now being attacked from two sides. And, well, while it is forced to fall back, it's trying to get out of line of sight and is eventually going to be killed off. Now the 223s here, that's going to be trying to take care of my Honey Stewart, but the AT gun was moved up on that left side, so I'm going to have to be wary about that. This Honey Stewart's able to help pin down the Panzer Grenadiers as they try and move across the open, and I now have the Humber Mark III helping out as well. So the Pak 38, that is going to be aiming at my Humber Mark III and the command carrier, I believe. And the Cromwell's also pinning down a lot of the rifles that are running around in the open. Over on the right side, still haven't unloaded this Bedford because I was focusing so hard on this left. So as you can see, like, I had quite a split focus in this game, mainly because obviously I'm focusing on both the flanks. It's kind of hard to, it's quite a test of my ability, I guess, to keep jumping from one side to the other, as I do tend to keep my camera quite zoomed in order to be able to micro my units more effectively. Just bringing in Spitfire Mark 9 there, and that's going to be trying to put the hurt onto the Pak 38 so that I can bring forward the Honey Stewart and pin that down. We managed to take out Panzer Grenadier squad in that tree line, which was very nice. Yeah, the Honey Stewart is basically charging down Pak 38 now. I managed to get the Honey Stewart into machine gun range of the Pak 38, which allows me to pin it down and take it out. Goes down to 1 health. And just about managed to get away, so I'm just relying on my Spitfire here to try and kill that off. When my Spitfire fails, Honey Stewart was trying to do the job as well, but again didn't do very well. Honey Stewart finally kills it off. The AT gun moved forwards on the left flank, going to force back my Honey Stewart there as well. I'm going to get my Spitfire now to target their AT gun. So this Spitfire's pretty safe. It's still phase A. They don't really have much to take care of that. But over on this right side, we're making a lot of ground now, as you can see. So Betts has managed to get some rifles into these buildings, which is pretty vital for me to be able to move forwards this AVRE along with my own rifles on the right side. Made a lot of ground over here, currently 59% territory lead. It's over on the left that I'm really worried, as we are being pushed quite heavily. So Philip doing a fantastic job of pushing me back with all of this infantry. He probably should have been a bit more careful, in that a lot of this infantry is very bunched up, and if there was like a bomber, for example, like a Spitfire bomber, just came in and hit that, I probably could have been able to make it all surrender with just with my Honey Stewart. By the way, the Honey Stewart going hard with his 3 30 cals, and you can see here Betts' Typhoon going to come in and stun a lot of these Panzer Grenadiers just with that one airstrike. I got rid of the last 2 vehicles over on the left here. You can see the 223 burning and the 259. That was great to see. And my Honey Stewart just continuing to provide the fire support here. I'm able to bring up my Humber Mark III. The AT gun's probably still moving forwards on the left side, so I have to be wary of that. Just got to keep an eye on it. Just trying to get these rifles forwards. Unfortunately, they do come under fire from a Panzer Grenadier squad from the left, and the Panzerschreck at close range do manage to actually make that rifle squad surrender, which was unfortunate. But this AVRE is able to open up onto the Panzer Grenadiers very quickly. The Panzerschreck squad's trying to basically jump forwards and take care of my AVRE. So I had to be pretty wary about that. So I'm going to move in my rifles from the right side. That Panzerschreck is going to get targeted by my AVRE now. Now the rifles are involved. The rifles basically saw the command get sniped, so that was a bit of an issue. Basically just going to try and charge down that Panzerschreck. Now in the centre, Betts still making a lot of ground using these Honey Stewarts to support his infantry as he moves forwards. Meanwhile on the left, just trying to recover this left side as best I can. Still have this Honey Stewart alive back here, but my Honey Stewart in the centre was actually destroyed by the Firefly that they've now brought up. It's bringing up a couple of machine guns here. They're basically to jump into these buildings and help us maintain control of the road. Over on the left side, bringing up some reinforcing infantry as well. Just trying to cover off against the enemy units moving across the open. And meanwhile here you can see the Honey Stewarts opening up with their 30 cals onto the Panzergrenadier and the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzerschreck squad there that was moving across the open gets destroyed by the rifles. The rifles engaging the Panzer Grenadiers at very close range. I'm going to try and get the AVRE up there to help out before the rifles die. And I've also of course got the extra machine gun squads coming up now.
We need ammo here.
The idea we had at this point, we are at a 58% territory lead, was just that we continue to push hard on the right and just sort of maintain ground on the left side where we currently are. So I've brought up the 17 pounder. That's just getting in position to help with some of these Panzer Grenadiers and also deal with the Firefly, because currently I'm kind of being overrun into this compound. So I just want to pin down the units in the open where I can. Over on this right side, I do manage to topple one of the Vickers squads. And the Vickers actually gets destroyed by the AA half-track and the enemy infantry in the left side for us. I do just about manage to get that Vickers HMG into a building, which allows it to open fire onto the enemy infantry on the left side, assisted by the AVRE. This rifle squad kills off a unit on the far right, and while in the centre, enemy AT half-track goes down. And these Panzergrens just stuck in the open currently. Maybe could have moved forwards my recce just to kill them off, but I really didn't want to reveal my recce against any other units. So here, Betts is going to be bringing in his Mark 9 with the bomber. And what actually happened here was the Spitfire Mark 9 got forced to fall back because of the HE explosion that occurred. Now my 17 pounder does get hit by the enemy Cromwell, but Cromwell actually comes into range of my 17 pounder, so I do manage to return the kill. Panzerwerfer here did fire one rocket, obviously, onto my rifle squad.
Yes, sir.
But then they changed the target of that, and I could see this coming. And eventually what they do is basically target my 17 pounder. Which is pretty mean. They put a lot of rockets into destroying the 17 pounder. Meanwhile on the right side, finally get rid of the pesky squad of Panzer Grenadiers, and now I brought up a rifle leader with 2 squads of rifles. Just to try and maintain the ground on this right side. They had tried to sneak up a cheeky Pack 38, but I managed to take that out with the AVRE. And now we're at a 65% plus 3 lead on the map. The Spitfire Mark 9 comes in and kills off one of the Panzergrenadier. Unfortunately, command carrier goes down to the Firefly. I am still able to use my Humber Mark 3 though to provide some fire support on the Speertrupp. The Spitfire certainly did work throughout this game, just sort of providing the extra fire support that was needed throughout the game. Just picking off the units here and there that were not able to be finished off by other units. You can see here that it's going to be coming in for another strafing run onto the Panzer Grenadiers, and the thing is that they didn't really do much about the Spitfire. It was able to just continually do strafing runs onto the enemy. There's currently 4 minutes and 52 seconds and 50 seconds now till total victory at this point. Running the +3 lead, we currently force the Panther D here to fall back to the edge of the spawn. So it just came in, gets forced to fall back, and now what Betts has to do is decide on a way as to how he's going to get rid of that.
One more kill.
Meanwhile on this side, well, AVRE is going to be able to take care of the 259 unless it gets destroyed by the Panther D, which is exactly what happens. So the Panther D here going to be destroying that AVRE, or it can make a difference, but my infantry presence still very strong here, and if they get too close I can always move forwards the rifle leader. Well, the 17 pounder, that's going to break the tracks of the Panther D, and well, with a second shot forces it to fall back after breaking its tracks, and the third shot should do the job, and boom goes the Panther D. Now I'm just going to continue to move forward as a 17 pounder, just trying to get it into a position to fire onto the spawn. Meanwhile on the left side, well, I'm losing another AT gun here, but going to bring in a spare, and my rifles are now opening up onto the Speertrupp, and I'm also opening up to some Speertrupp in the centre as well. So Honey Stewart's just charging forwards towards this Panther D. Is being shot in the side armour by the 259. But I'm just trying to make some ground here, trying to get these rifles to move up, take some more land. Currently running a 72% territory lead at this point. We've broken through completely on the right flank. On the left flank I'm still suffering. Philip's still doing a lot of damage with these Panzerwerfers. Now absolutely annihilating my command infantry squad as well as the rifles there. Forcing back both of my Humber Mark 3s, which were going to approach these Pioneers. However, I do have the 17 pounder, able to provide some fire support here, damage the morale of those enemy units. However, they are of course still able to use the Panzerwerfers to hit my 17 pounders. And I had the 6 pounder moving up as well, just to maybe try and get into range of the Panzerwerfers, because I don't really have too much that can push towards it. I believe there was still an AT gun on this left side. You can see this Pack 38, and I knew that that was still there. I was very wary about moving up my Honey Stewart, but eventually I decided to just bite the bullet and go for it. I need to take care of these Panzerwerfers before they do too much more damage. But they are probably going to go for a shot onto my 17 pounder again, so I get my Humbers, get my Honey Stewart, and we're going to go for a push. We're currently running 80% conquest points, so we're very, very close to victory at this point. And we're currently now running a +4. It's just up to me to really take back the left side where I was pushed back so heavily. I'm going to have these Spitfire Mark 9s try and take care of this AT gun for me. I have the Spitfire Mark 9. Unfortunately didn't change targets quick enough. They were originally targeting the Panzerwerfers. Betts' Spitfire Mark 9 is going to bomb one of them. But as it is coming towards the end of the game, well, Philip does surrender with 3 seconds left, and well, T surrenders as well, just to finish off the game. And after 18 minutes and 2 seconds, we win by surrender. 2,000 points, and well, there you go. We jump over to the kills and losses. You can see that myself, I didn't really do particularly well in terms of kill death. 1,070 kills to 1,000 losses, but Betts did an exceptional job in the centre with the 1,245 kills to 230 losses. He had a considerably easier time, thanks to the fact he didn't have split focus, and also the enemy didn't tend to sort of reinforce the center, so he had a fantastic position to just penetrate straight through without much resistance, and that allowed him to get a lot of kills because of that. I definitely took the brunt of both players at the start of the game specifically. And there was a few units that I probably shouldn't have lost, like I lost a lot of units unnecessarily. But let's jump over to the kills, and we can see that the AVRE did most of the work on the right side. Definitely took out a lot of Panzer Grenadiers and the Pak 38 and so on before it got killed. Took out these APCs, the 259s. Eventually it obviously got killed by the Panther D. The rest of my stuff coming down to the Honey Stewarts, I brought those in to help out on the left side, and they did clean up those APCs like I had planned, so that worked out well for me. This Spitfire Mark 9 really doing a great job picking off the units here and there, and leaving units weak enough for like my own rifles and also the Humber Mark 3s and the command carriers to pick off them as well. So yeah, you can see that I was fighting both players quite considerably. My AVRE just took the pain to T, whilst my units on the left side were dealing with Philip. That's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. It was basically a demonstration of a different strategy to use. Like if you're playing with like a friend, for example, maybe try this out. Have one person attack the factory on the 1v1 map of Colombelles, and one person attack the flanks, and see how it goes for you. I just wanted to try it out, see if it worked, and well, in this case it definitely did. Allowed us to penetrate the center of the map very efficiently. So that was very nice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.